Okay, one of the things I want to show you today is how you can improve your email deliverability by using your dedicated email domain. Now, all of you guys have got an email address or you have got a dedicated domain name for your business. So what is really important is making sure that when you send an email to your clients, you want to make sure whatever it's been sent out through our email system is going to reflect the name of the business. Give me an example. So my business is ACR 365. So I want to make sure what I send out as part of my email delivery, I have to create a domain that is going to reflect that business name. So let me show you how you can do that. So what's first thing you need to do is by going into settings on the left hand side and go to email services. Once you do that, you'll see up here you got SMTP service, and by default we have got a mail.acr.fit email provider for the way you send emails. What you want to do is dedicate a domain. So by clicking on that, we're going to be adding a domain which is going to be what my business name or my website is going to be seen. So acr365.com.au is going to be my email address. Once I do that, I'll usually add a mail.acr365.com.au. That's going to be the way I send my email. So what's going to happen is that you're going to have a name that says jackson@mail.acr365.com.au. This is what we call a SMTP provider that is sending this email or sending your email on behalf of this particular service. Reason why we do it this way is that if you're going to be sending bulk email out, you don't want to be burning your dedicated domain, which is your normal email address, by sending 1,000 emails out. You may have some that bounce back. So what you want to do in this process is making sure you set up a dedicated domain or subdomain that is going to be sending your emails. As you can see here, that I'm going to set this up. I'm going to add a verify. It's going to now create what we call a bunch of what we call DNS records in your domain, which can be GoDaddy, could be Google domain, could be Zoho, depending on what service you have. It's going to ask you to verify and authorize. Okay, it's going to set up the domain. It's going to create all the records it needs to. It's automatically setting out all these records in your email. So in my case, my provider is Cloudflare. So I'm going to authorize the domain. Okay, I'm going to log in, and it's going to allow me to go through to my two-factor authentication process, which in your case will be exactly the same thing. And you're going to make sure that you log in. And once it happens, it's going to create a whole bunch of records on there, or 4x3. Okay, here we go. Let me just double check. No, that's the wrong one. 2503. All right. Once I logged in, you can see it's going to authorize DNS records from lead connector. You can see all these things are being created automatically. It's got sending all the TXT records. It's adding an email. It's adding a CNAME on there for Mailgun. Authorize that. It's now going to automatically create that. Okay, it's going to take about 60 seconds to propagate. I'm going to pause the video and come back. You can see up here, you want to see all of these things being verified for your email domain to become active. Okay, bam, you can see now I'll just hit verify domain. You can see all these records have now been created inside my Cloudflare or my email provider. It means that when I send my email out, it's going to be recognized and it'll be coming from my domain. It's going to give you a much better delivery rate and will avoid it going into the spam as well too. So make sure you go through this process in your ACR account and making sure you update the email services and go to a dedicated domain for your account. And once you've done that, you can see here I'm updated. I'm going to go back to my dedicated domain, and over here I'm just going to refresh this. And making sure I've got SSL records on there. So I'll go and verify this. Okay, verify the domain. And here we go. SSL is issued. Now this email domain is now active. So I can now go back to my SMTP provider and I want to make sure that this is now sending via the mail.acr365.com.au every single time rather than my default provider, which is acr.fit. So this is a great way to make sure your email is going to be delivered correctly and every single time with what we call DMarc policies and records for what you need for emailing.